Hello everyone, my name is Sunny Dove and welcome back to my Let's Play Fallout 4 Survival Mode. We finished up our business at Vault 95, got Kate cleaned up, and she almost idolizes me. Wonderful, I feel better having that out of the way. Now I know we have a few... what's that noise? Workshops to... or settlements rather, to work on. I saw in the workshop menu that Hangman's Alley is short a few beds and food. Sanctuary Hills is... there's nothing wrong with it, it's just false flagged, I guess, for happiness. And Outpost of Monja needs some more beds. And I have reason to head up back to Sanctuary Hills anyway, now that we have Kate, because I'd like to go pick up the Cryolator. So I'm thinking we might kind of nip into a bunch of my settlements today and do some settlement building. But first I think we might have some enemies nearby to take care of while we wait on our Vertibird. Yep, that'd be Rust Devil. And a sentry bot. Damn, this thing's tanky. Oh, that's gonna explode. Let's get in the house. In the house we go. And this is the part where we eat something. How about an iguana on a stick? This is pretty sad. The person in Exo 1 power armor is hiding in the house using the unarmored settlers as meat shields. Nice, level 48s. Alright, this one's a legendary. Let's go ahead and use the laser musket. I think I'll be a little bit more ammo efficient. If I just do that. And I'm actually dehydrated from doing drugs and drinking beer, so let's take care of that real quick while we're standing right next to the water pump. I did swap up my headlamp models, so if you notice the flashlights look a little bit different inside and out of the... oh my god, 11 missiles. And 2 fusion cores. Oh, I've got to find a way to carry this stuff back, right? Oh, we can get on the Vertibird over encumbered. It doesn't even matter. I forgot about that. Hell, we might as well just pick up everything then. Yeah, I swapped up my headlamp lights with my Pip-Boy Flashlight Overhaul mod. Both my Pip-Boy light and my headlamp on the power armor are changed, so they will look a little bit more realistic in my opinion. And if I can remember to put in the description of the video, I will try to put the exact flashlight model beams that I'm using. So that way if you guys want to replicate it, you could, or try it out for yourself. Anyway, I'm going to drudge over to this Vertibird and hopefully it doesn't leave me behind. Oh god damn it. I hate you. Well, I guess I'm using another Vertibird signal grenade. To Sanctuary Hills we go. Sanctuary Hills. It's really quite a long ride. That felt like it took
Stand by
about
for landing.
4 or 5 minutes. So, it's certainly not fast travel, but it's better than walking. And thankfully, we got plopped right down next to our workshop, so we can go ahead and get ourselves organized. Oh wait, I have to upgrade the workshop. Let's do that real quick. Kaboom! Alrighty then, after much labor, I think we are good to go. I have organized all of my items, though I cannot find Kate. She's carrying some of my equipment. I think she might have gotten left at Somerville Place, but we'll go find her, pick her up off screen or something on my next Vertibird trip. I caught up on my cooking and chem crafting as per usual, cleaned my rads at the decontamination arch. Also plopped that T45 right arm back onto that frame over there. I have plans for that, but we're not quite ready for it just yet. Let's see, what else did I do? I haven't done my weapon crafting yet. I'm thinking of making a plasma weapon. We haven't really messed around with plasma weapons much, and we do have this legendary Ghoul Slayer's Excited Plasma Pistol that I had stashed away here at Sanctuary. So why not just go ahead and use this one, considering we do fight ghouls a decent bit. Let's give it an overcharge capacitor for 75% more damage. And I was kind of thinking of making it either... We already have plenty of long-range weapons. Why don't we make it a sniper? Or not a sniper, a shotgun, rather. Improved splitter. Then, I'm not sure on the stock. Nice thing is about energy weapons is they're very light even if you fully mod them out. So why don't we just go ahead and give it the best accuracy, which would be a recoil compensating stock. It already has a reflex sight on it, and that's probably going to be what I want. So there we have it, a Ghoul Slayer's overcharged plasma scattergun. Let's rename it... I'm boring. Let's just call it the plasma scattergun. Maybe I'll come up with a better gun name than that. But for now, that's what we're going with. It does 103 ballistic damage and 103 energy damage. Or radiation damage, rather. Right? No. Energy damage. I was right the first time. 103 ballistic, 103 energy. So in total it does 206. Which is not too bad. Not too bad. Maybe we'll use it as... Let's see... I could swap it out. Maybe we should put Old Faithful away. Or we could use Old Faithful instead of Ratchet and Crank. Or we could just take it in addition to what we're carrying on us. Let's put Old Faithful on 4 and Plasma Scattergun on 2. I really love the look of plasma weapons in Fallout 4. Looks pretty freaking awesome. So we'll definitely be trying that out. Though we'll need some ammo for it, right? Let's go to our ammo box and pick out all of our plasma cartridges. We've got 201. Cool. Plasma cartridges are pretty lightweight. Whoops. At only 0.029 per pound. Not bad at all. Put those mods away. And I guess that's it for our weapon crafting. Do we need to do any armor crafting? We could work on this Sprinter's Combat Armor right leg that I've been wearing for a while. We could paint it in Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, why not? It doesn't add to the weight at all. And it makes it black. Codsworth idolizes me. Cool. We could actually make it even lighter at 1.2 pounds. And it gives 2 action points. Or we could make it deep-pocketed, giving us plus 10 carry weight. Though for the most part, we're in the power armor anyway, so let's make it lightweight. Well, the black doesn't exactly match this particular color of Brotherhood of Steel uniform, but that's okay. Hopefully we'll find a black uniform at some point. And then it'll be very matchy-matchy. So, considering Codsworth idolizes me, he probably wants to have a conversation.
Codsworth.
May I accompany you, Mum?
I wonder if I do this, this might allow me to send Kate here to Sanctuary, and then I can recompanion her.
Please do.
Splendid! Mum, if I might bend your ear for a moment.
Of course. Go right ahead.
So gracious, Mum. I do appreciate it. I've always had such admiration for you and your family, ever since the day my visual senses were first switched on. You and Sir, so good with young Sean and so trusting of me to look after such a newborn bundle of joy. It just warms my nuclear core. So you can imagine the distress I felt when the bombs fell, after you fled to the vault. I searched but found no evidence of your death. I could only hope you all made it in time. And when you returned, I was overjoyed. I admit, I ran a full diagnostic scan just to make sure I wasn't malfunctioning. But the news of Sir and young Sean, believe me when I say it takes a true hero to live through that.
You think I'm a hero? I'm far from it.
Don't sell yourself short, Mum. In such a bleak world as this, think of all you've witnessed and all you've done. In my 200 years, I've seen it tear good men and women apart. But you, Mum, you have remained the very model of what humanity should aspire to be.
Not so sure I'm wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform. Might want to rethink that statement.
I didn't realize you felt that way, Codsworth. I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything, Mum. I just felt you should know what you've come to mean to me. I truly believe if the Commonwealth is to turn itself around, you're the one to do it. Now, not another word. I stand firm in my belief. Let's get back to it.
Having reached the highest level of affinity with Codsworth, you have been granted the Robot Sympathy perk. So let's take a look at that. Thanks to your relationship with Codsworth, you receive plus 10 damage resistance against robot energy weapons. Which is all well and fine. A pretty mediocre perk, if you're going to be totally honest. And unfortunately, grabbing Codsworth as a companion did not allow me to dismiss Kate. So that tells me she has either ended up... She's either at Somerville Place or she has returned to perhaps Hangman's Alley? I'm not sure. Maybe it's because we finished Benign Intervention. She's cleaned up, so maybe she went back to Hangman's Alley or maybe even the combat zone. She could have went back to the combat zone to talk to her former employer. Maybe that's how her kind of storyline concludes. I'm not sure, but I'm sure we'll go find her at some point. This does mean it will delay picking up the cryolator because I need Kate to do that. That's unfortunate. Maybe we'll go track her down in a bit. But I think the next thing I want to do is find Preston. There he is. Because he was talking about wanting to take back a certain fort of the former Minutemen. And appropriately enough, Codsworth was saying that if anybody's going to turn the Commonwealth around, it'll be us. And I think One step towards doing that is establishing our Minutemen Empire. And it starts, or rather it's the next step, is taking back the castle.
Seems to be growing well. Hi.
Do you think we're ready to retake the castle?
I took care of the raiders that were harassing that settlement you sent me to. The people there have decided to join our cause.
That's great news. One day, we'll be strong enough to drive that scum out of the Commonwealth for good. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it.
Yeah. Help everybody, got it. We helped everybody in Nordhagen Beach. Nordhagen Beach, excuse me. I think that's how you pronounce that.
Do you think we're ready to retake the castle?
Yeah, let's do this.
We'll do some recon and meet you outside the castle. See you there.
All right, so that sends Preston off to the castle. I don't know if that lowered our food, because he was doing some of the farming. Well, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Even if that does leave off some of the food. I don't think our food dropped, though. I'm not really counting on the food production at this point. I've got plenty of vegetable starch, and they've got an abundance here anyway. So, Preston is going to head to the castle, or just outside the castle, and recon. We'll meet up with him when we are ready to do that. But for right now, I think our priority is to go find Kate, and also, I need to see a doctor. I've also got a level up in waiting. I have weakness and psycho addiction, so kind of thinking maybe we drop by some place with a doctor. We'll get patched up, and we need to find Kate, come back here, and we'll go get the cryolator. But first, let's spin that level up. Rank 5 in Heavy Gunner. Heavy guns now do double damage, which means it's time that we meet up with Paladin Dance at some point and bust out the Gatling Laser. Our loadout might change significantly in the coming episode or two. So I want to try out this gun, I want to try out the Gatling Laser, and I don't know if I have any other heavy guns I want to try. Missiles are so heavy. I have that instigating missile launcher. We might try that out, I'm not sure. We'll see. But for right now, I've got to go find Kate. With Kate in tow, it's time to go get the cryolator. If you are wondering, I did manage to find her at Hangman's Alley. I guess she must have been downed, I suppose, in that firefight at Somerville Place, and I just missed the message, or I didn't notice that she got downed, so... Wasted a couple Vertibird signal grenades, but it's not the end of the world. I also located Paladin Dance at Hangman's Alley and grabbed the Gatling Laser off of him. So we'll have a bunch of new toys to play with. Now that is a weapon befitting someone in XO1 power armor. I can't imagine any enemies would have respawned in here. Nothing should have moved in. So we just nip back to the office, and we'll have Kate get to work on this master lock.
That was easy. How about a challenge next time?
Wow, that took significantly less time than I thought it would. She got it on the second attempt.
There we go.
Alright, we found ourselves the cryolator. I said I'd come back for it eventually, and here we are. It's a heavy weapon, which conveniently we've just maxed out the 5th rank of heavy weapons. Let's take a close look at it. Alright, it's not modded out at all yet, so let's go have a look-see at the weapons workbench. Alright, we should be able to fully modify the cryolator to our liking. The barrel can be either standard or crystallizing. Crystallizing seems to add another damage type. It goes from energy damage to ballistic and energy damage. It goes from a gas projectile to a solid projectile. It increases the range significantly. Better sight spread. Plus 100% minimum spread. Plus 50% maximum spread. Basically, the cryolator at its base form is like a freezing flamer. It sort of sprays, I don't know, liquid nitrogen or something. Oh yeah, actually, now that I look at the model, it says danger and liquid nitrogen on the side. That makes sense. It sprays liquid nitrogen. It's a cold flamer. But if you give it this crystallizing barrel, it makes it a snowball firing rifle, I guess. And then the stock. This gives it more accuracy, but it increases the weight by 1.5 pounds. Better recoil, better sight spread. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. Recoil compensating stock sounds good. And glow sights for a little more. Actually, it decreases the sight time, better sight spread, and better VATS cost. There's no downside. It may as well. So, looking at the cryolator, it doesn't do amazing damage compared to pretty much any of our other weapons. But what it does do is it freezes things very frequently, from what I understand. I've never actually obtained this weapon or tested it out, at least not that I can remember. I don't think I've got this weapon. This is my first time getting it, because I don't usually go for Master Lockpick on my characters. And to be honest, considering it's a 20-pound weapon, it certainly looks cool. But I think it might end up stuck in this weapon crate, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's too heavy, and it doesn't really have the DPS or utility to be worth its weight. I could give it to Kate, but I don't really feel like it fits Kate's, like...
Look alive.
This is my favorite part of the job.
It's not Kate's style. And I've been kind of getting sick of using Overseer's Guardian, so I think I'm actually going to have Kate use Overseer's Guardian. And I am going to use my Gatling laser. And hopefully try out the plasma scattergun some. Considering we are going to be consuming fusion cores with our primary weapon now, I think we ought to carry more fusion cores. I have 10 on me. That should probably be enough. Let's just make it 12 just to be safe. Considering we've moved a bunch of our 308 ammunition over to Kate, we've got a little bit more room to play with. That puts me at 181 of 367, which is basically half capacity. And I don't think I'm really carrying too much unnecessary stuff. So we ought to be good. Kate's going to be using OG. She'll be doing massive damage. And now we have to decide where we're going next. I suppose Outpost Zamunja would probably make the most sense for our next stop. I need to fix up their bed situation over there. And that's just a little bit too far for me to want to walk. So it's time to use another Vertibird signal grenade. Oh hey, they're strong. I forgot I sent him up here in the middle of nowhere.
Stand by for landing.
we got a couple of things to do in Outpost Simonja. There's the bed issue. And we also have to secure food here for the Brotherhood if I'm to do that quest for Proctor Teagan.
What do you want?
Brotherhood needs food. Better to donate it willingly and keep them friendly.
We don't want any trouble. You'll get your donation.
Kate and Strong dislike that. So next time we go back up to the Pridwin, we can talk to Proctor Teagan to complete that quest. Though I think it's just a Radiant one anyway. Now then, beds. I don't care about this settlement anything past just... Wait, do I have a... Is a recruitment beacon on? Let's just store it just in case. I don't think it was on. Stash that away. Oh, there's a pipe pistol. I'll scrap that, I guess. For some steel. Let's plop this bed this way. We'll add another one. Alright, any other spots we can add beds? Wait, why does it say there's 2 people here? I thought it said there was 4. Or 5. It's weird. We don't really have good places to put beds. I can stick another one on this corner, I guess, if I wanted to. Hopefully they can path around these. I can path around it. Hopefully they can. Good enough. 5 beds is 3 more than the number of people here. I can't be bothered to pick all the veggies, so I think that is Outpost Simonja finished. Next stop. Hangman's Alley needs more food. Red Rocket needs more beds, apparently. I think maybe it's the provisioners, like, kind of stopping in, like, nipping in and out of these settlements. They, like, temporarily go up by 1, and then they drop by 1 when the provisioners leave. It's my theory. I'm not sure, but I think that's how it works. So I guess we'll head back to Red Rocket. I'm being really inefficient with these Vertibird signal grenades, but we can always craft or purchase more.
Captain
Much better.
Kate's not exactly graceful. Fell out of the damn Vertibird. Okay, so I actually haven't been to Red Rocket in a while that I remember, which, yeah, we need to upgrade to 30 times the workshop capacity. And I don't know if there's anything... Don't really have anything here besides a bunch of tools, a power armor frame, and crafting supplies. We need more beds. Question is, where do we put the beds? I've got 3 beds here, 2 there. I don't want to get rid of this terminal and desk area. Seems like it might just be time to make either a bunkhouse or we just plop down some sleeping bags and let them deal with it. I'm leaning towards the sleeping bag option. Let's plop a sleeping bag down. Somebody can sleep in this hallway if they have to. Actually, make them sleep outside. These are just temporary. Just in case they have any provisioners or whatever show up, and I don't want my workshop menu telling me that this place is in need of beds. So surely 7 beds is enough for this area. Next. Hangman's Alley needs food. Outpost Samonja is lying. For some reason it's showing up as needing help, but it doesn't need help. Are there any other settlements I want to work on between here and Hangman's Alley? That's the question. Hangman's Alley probably needs the most work of anything. I'd like to do some work on Grey Garden, but I'm not sure what I want to do with it, really. I have to think about it. Let's go work on Hangman's Alley, considering it has been kind of our main base since we've been doing a lot of quests towards the center of the map. Alright, so no random encounter this time, maybe? Oh, there's a random encounter, of course. Well, perfect opportunity to test out our Gatling laser. I really hate that this landing spot for the Vertibird for Hangman's Alley is literally right next to a random encounter spawn point. Brotherhood Scribe. Okay, what are the Brotherhood fighting? Oh, okay. Almost shot this Knight Captain. That would have been bad. Well, whatever spawned here was taken care of by my brethren. So now we can get to work on Hangman's Alley. If I can remember where the entrance is from the side. I think what I want to do with Hangman's Alley, and what most people will do with Hangman's Alley when they improve it and try to make it a little bit more livable, is you start scrapping some of the buildings, and we probably want to build up. This place is very small. It also needs more, it needs more food. So, wait, hang on. Let's put the power armor up before we do anything else. I'm trying to think, is there anything I can do to make Kate idolize me? She's really close to 100%. Oh, there's Dance. See, after benign intervention, Kate does not like it when you do drugs, I think. I know what? Oh, I could probably shoot dog meat and then stim pack him. Almost all companions love it when you do that. Oh my god, I move fast when I'm not in power armor. That sprinter's leg is really awesome. Okay. Steer clear, everyone. Friendly fire. I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm 99% out of 100.
Poor animal. It appears to be in dire need of medical attention.
Don't worry, I got it covered.
Look alive.
Sure. Do you have a minute? I think we should talk.
Always have time to listen to you, Kate.
Good. Because this isn't easy for me to say, and I want to get it right. Where do I begin? Did you know I spent 3 years fighting at the combat zone? 3 years of getting beaten to hell by a bunch of losers and lunatics. After the matches were over, I'd spit out the blood, stitch me wounds, and do a couple of shots of Psycho to keep me going. I fucking hated it. I hated the crowds, I hated the other fighters, and I hated myself. I never understood why I put myself through all that. Until now. It was because I was alone. And I think deep down, I wanted to die. I wanted one of my opponents to crush the life out of me. The easy way out.
Why are you telling me all this now? I understand, that's old news, get over it. Well, that's the past, you're not alone anymore. Yeah, that's a nice option.
Well, that's the past. You're not alone anymore.
Then maybe you know what I'm trying to say to you. My life's been nothing but one huge failure after another. You've heard all my stories, and you know the prices I've paid. There were a few times, when things got really bad, that I found myself staring down the barrel of my own shotgun. I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger. I guess I was praying that I could find a single decent scrap of humanity in this fucked up world. And then, what you did for me back there at Vault 95, it was like the answer to those prayers. That's the first time in me life I fully depended on someone else, and they didn't let me down. God damn it, I'm making a mess of this.
It's all right, Kate. Let it all out.
I'll be fine. I just need to be getting to the point. The longer we've been spending time together, the more I'm beginning to realize what you mean to me. And I'm not just talking about you watching me back or sharing a drink together. I mean more than that. Before we met, I'd never let me guard down around anyone. I didn't dare. But with you, I feel like I can let you in and see me for everything that I am. For better or for worse. Look, I can't go back to the way things were before we met. I won't. But what I need you to do is look me in the eyes and tell me you feel something too.
Oh, romance option. I'm not sure. Didn't I tell Piper that I really liked her too? I'm also not sure, can you romance all of the characters that are romance options, or can you only pick one? I think you can romance all of them. I'm not sure, though.
This is a lot to take in. I'm not sure how to answer you right now.
I was hoping we'd see eye to eye on this. You know, share the same feelings about our friendship. It was stupid of me to put you on the spot like this in the first place. Don't worry about it. This doesn't change a thing between us. I'll still keep the bullets off you and drink your sorry arse under the table. What are friends for, eh?
Having reached the highest level of affinity with Kate, you have gained the Trigger Rush perk, which is, again, a pretty underwhelming perk, similar to Codsworth's. Thanks to your relationship with Kate, action points regenerate faster if your health is below 25%. If my health is below 25%, I'm going to be popping some Psycho Buff and shoving all of the iguana bits and what down my gullet that I could possibly fit. But actually, now that we've got Kate's perk,
Hey, this
we
better
might
be worth
well
it.
want to swap to Paladin Dance, because I want his perk as well. And Dance is probably a better companion, I want to say. Though Overseer's Guardian probably not going to fit Paladin Dance's
Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
style at all.
Ready.
Roger that.
There's nothing quite like the smell of power armor grease and testosterone.
The aroma is rather pungent.
I'll put up with it. Paladin Dance is worth it. Let's have Kate stay here at Hangman's Alley. This place kind of suits her.
Hey.
So, maybe I need to get another Gatling laser. That might be the answer. Or we could just have Paladin Dance stick to his tried and true laser rifle. But I am over encumbered. That's kind of a problem. So we're going to have to figure out something to do
All right.
to fix that. We either need to ditch Overseer's Guardian and leave it here. It's my most powerful weapon, though. I can't bring myself to do that. I have to at least have it on a companion. But it doesn't feel right having Paladin Dance use it. Do I leave Ratchet and Crank behind? That's my sniper rifle. I guess? Huh. I guess all I can really think to do is retire Old Faithful No, I'm bringing all of it. I'm bringing all these weapons. I like all these weapons too much. They're all remaining part of my loadout. I'll probably just carry less. Yeah, I'll carry less rounds. We'll go down to 100 rounds. And considering we're going to be using fusion cores more as our ammo rather than fusion cells, let's go down to 200 fusion cells and maybe just 100 plasma cartridges. That only brings us down to 202. Still not good enough. Well, I don't really know what to do other than to have Dance carry one of my weapons. Here, carry Ratchet and Crank for a bit.
You point, I shoot.
I'll get it back later. So finally, let's get on with the settlement building. That's what I was actually primarily here for. All right, that's more like it. This is my new Hangman's Alley 2.0. After many hours of hard work and tedious placement of objects and whatnot, I have come up with something I'm reasonably proud of, to be honest, considering I'm not very good at settlement building, I'll be the first to admit. This place is pretty cool. My original idea was to kind of build a slums like upper area that overhangs the lower area and not actually remove much of the vanilla assets on the lower level. But I was kind of worried about expanding the settlement to 10, 12, 15 settlers, and then with the very narrow pathways, the pathing might be horrendous. I mean, it's already bad enough in areas that are pretty open. So I kind of opted for opening up this lower area and putting this kind of marketplace bazaar type thing, similar to like Diamond City Marketplace, but it's not quite that big. It's a miniature Diamond City Marketplace.
Nice day. Where are we headed?
Instead of building very high up, I did build a little bit, and I did go vertical insofar as I put the stairway up, and I put all of my food on these fertilizer, what are these called? Garden plots. I put these garden plots down, plop down all of my fruit and veggies in those. That's all consolidated, out of the way, and it's out of the crappy
Nice day.
ground that I had my plants planted in over here, I think, before. I did add lots of little stuff. This place is pretty well furnished. The bunkhouses are a little bit plain, but they're not awful. To be honest, there's not a lot of room for furnishing items in here because they kind of have to be filled with beds. There's just not a whole lot of room in the settlement without building upwards. I did this little seating area for the restaurant where they've got, you know, little bits of clutter. We got some spoons, plastic and ceramic bowls, empty bottles. I continued the scheme of, this place had some fire barrels, I believe, originally, and I continued that. I was kind of being lazy and I didn't want to actually wire the whole place up completely and put street lamps, so I just continued that theme of the lamp lighting, and I put down more oil lamps as well as fire barrels here, you know, periodically. Got an ashtray here next to this crappy couch. People to sit and smoke. Got more seating over here with a park bench. Of course, got our restaurant and bar. Armor station.
So where are we off to next?
And general store. Along with a clinic where the doctor refuses to path behind the stall for whatever reason, despite there being lots of room for him to walk behind here. I could move it farther out into the pathway, but I don't want this to be any more narrow, so I'll just put up with him kind of lingering about outside his stall. It's not a big deal.
Surprised the bombs didn't
Kate's
level
on
the
guard
whole
duty.
city.
Power armor station's still over here, which, by the way, at some point I think we unlocked the Night Sergeant paint.
The Brotherhood
I guess from completing Show No Mercy,
behind
I
us
suspect.
will never
Or maybe that was when we got Knight rank. I can't remember. Either way, we got Boss 3 paint, which I applied to my XO1, another trash can. Oh, since we don't have a proper bathroom,
Next person that asked me to shag is getting a well-placed kick, if you get my meaning.
I guess everybody hits on Kate. I put a crapper over here in the corner, so that way, you know, we consolidate all the shit smell outside the main gate of the settlement. Of course, we got our turrets all around the exterior.
Nothing's more
Oh,
satisfying
Brahmin
than a
trough
smoking gun and a
out
pocket
here
full of
to
cash.
hopefully keep any provisioner or traders Brahmin outside the gates to avoid any further pathing issues or
Maybe
Brahmin on
constantly
top
trying
of
to kill
roofs
us, but
issues.
The Commonwealth never lacks for excitement.
I did do a lot of trips back and forth to Sanctuary, and while I was at it, I figured I may as well go ahead and consolidate a lot of my items. I moved a bunch of my legendary, unique, and valuables to Hangman's Alley, most of them being in this steamer trunk. And of course I grabbed most of my ammunition as well. I left a little bit of ammo in Sanctuary just in case I would need it, but most of it is here. Oh, we got a bunch of pack of cigarettes to sell. I have to remember that. Don't know why I put them in this footlocker, but they're there. There used to be a refrigerator in this little alcove, but I swapped it out for a Nuka-Cola vending machine. Put a bunch of clutter on this shelving unit. Mostly stuff to kind
Never
of
thought a reporter could consider themselves a success
fully
until
stock the
someone threatened
bar.
their life. Me? I'm very successful.
I tucked this weapon salesman station right in this corner. Also our water-powered pump in this corner as well. I future-proofed the place by plopping down a fusion generator because it gives 100 power. Which, by the way, I should probably give you guys the rundown of our stats. We're up to 10 settlers, 10 food, 16 water, 100 power from that fusion generator, 34 defense, 11 beds, and 80 happiness on the rise. The reason I went with a fusion generator is because for the components required, it just didn't make any sense to go for a smaller generator. Didn't really require that much more rare components to make the fusion generator, at least considering how much stuff I've scrapped and salvaged. It just seemed like the smart idea to future-proof the place in case I wanted to add a bunch more, you know, say laser turrets, missile turrets, hook up the place with street lamps, whatever, TV terminals, computers, etc.
Nice
It's
day.
future-proofed.
Where are we headed?
It's consolidated. We don't have to have a bunch of small generators taking up a bunch of space. All right, is that everything? I did invest 500 caps via the cap collector perk. 500 caps per stall to expand their cap totals, I think, is what that does. I believe it gives them more caps every time they refresh every 48 hours.
Enough of this slog.
So
Just point us to the
that'll
nearest
give
watering
us a
hole.
nice little route to run through when we come back to Hangman's Alley. Since this has kind of been one of my main bases since it's
Eyes up,
close to
weapons out.
Boston. We just loop through here, we stash our stuff that we want to save in our containers. The stuff we want to sell, we can run through our vendor stalls and sell all of that. Oh right, I consolidated my crafting stations over in this area. I moved the chem station over here. I scrapped or stored
Can't
the
wait to get out of this
campfire that we
goddamn
were previously
heat.
cooking at, and I put a cooking stove in this little corner. This alcove is kind of like my crafting corner. I put a teddy bear on this chair just because it looked empty.
Sun
And I
goes
opened up this
down,
wall
crazies come
just to
out.
give us another way to walk around.
Bearings out here.
I leveled up from all this
Give me
crafting
a
and
laser
settlement
rifle.
building. I hit level 49. And because I hit 49, I was able to spend my perk point. And normally I would save the perk point to show you guys on screen, but it was a very boring perk choice. I chose to level up Medic because you can't build the clinic for your settlements until you have rank 1 of Medic. And rather than waiting to finish my settlement building till after I started recording again, I went ahead and just spent that perk point. It's nothing too exciting. It doesn't really have any gameplay effect other than just increasing the effectiveness of stim packs. Stim packs restore 40% lost health, and Radaways remove 40% of radiation, which I think is a pretty good value point. Stim packs, I believe, at their base value restore 20%, if I'm not mistaken, and Radaways, I think, also remove 20%. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. That's my inclination. Stim packs do a little bit more, Radaways do a little bit more. And we get to build
Power armor.
our
and
clinic.
I'll take on the world.
You've got a map, right?
Now, for real this time, that is Hangman's Alley. I'm happy with what I've created here. It's pretty good for a settlement building noob like myself. So, with that said, you all have a great day. Next time, we're going to continue on with some more serious business, questing, whatnot. Maybe we'll go find the next lead up on finding Sean, or perhaps tackle the castle. I haven't decided yet. Let me know in the comment section
Nice
what
day.
you want me to
Where are we
do,
headed?
and I will take into consideration what you guys want to see. Have a nice day, and see you later.